everyone. It is Mrs. Thomas and it's Wednesday and I'm outside. It was a beautiful day. I thought it was supposed to rain in the afternoon, but it didn't. And so I decided it would be nice to sit out on my front porch and read you a story out here. This is a book called The Extraordinary Egg, or An Extraordinary Egg, and it's going to be Easter soon. And what do we love looking for on Easter? Eggs, right? So here's a story called An Extraordinary Egg, and it's by Leo Lionni, one of my favorite authors and illustrators. He does both the words and the drawings. On Pebble Island, there lived 3 frogs, Marilyn, August, and one who was always somewhere else. That's why there are only 2 there. I guess that's Marilyn and August. That one's name was Jessica. Jessica was full of wonder. She would go on long walks, way to the other side of Pebble Island, and return at the end of the day shouting, "Look what I found!" And even if it was nothing but an ordinary little pebble, she would say, "Isn't it extraordinary?" But Marilyn and August were never impressed. Oh dear. One day in a mound of stones, she found one that stood out from all the others. It was perfect, white like snow, and round like the full moon on a midsummer night. I love that description. Even though it was almost as big as she was, Jessica decided to bring it home. I wonder what Marilyn and August will say when they see this, she thought, as she rolled the beautiful stone to the small inlet where the 3 of them lived. "Look what I found!" she shouted triumphantly. "A huge pebble!" This time, Marilyn and August were truly astonished. "That is not a pebble," said Marilyn, who knew everything about everything. "It's an egg, a chicken egg." "A chicken egg? How do you know it's a chicken egg?" asked Jessica, who had never even heard of chickens. Marilyn smiled. "There are some things you just know." A few days later, the frogs heard a strange noise coming from the egg. They watched in amazement as the egg cracked and out crawled a long, scaly creature that walked on 4 legs. "See," exclaimed Marilyn, "I was right. It is a chicken." "A chicken!" they all shouted. Does that look like a chicken? The chicken took a deep breath, grunted, gave each of the astonished frogs a look, and said in a small, raspy voice, "Where's the water?" "Straight ahead," the frogs cried out excitedly. The chicken threw herself into the water, and the frogs dove in after her. To their surprise, the chicken was a good swimmer, and fast too, and she showed them new ways to float and to paddle. They had a wonderful time together and played from sunup to sundown, and so it went on for several days. Then one day, when Jessica was somewhere else, August and Marilyn saw a commotion in the water below them. Someone was in trouble. Quickly, the chicken dove into the dark pool. August and Marilyn were frightened. After a few minutes, the chicken reappeared, carrying Jessica. "I'm all right," she called. "I got tangled in the weeds, but the chicken saved me." Do chickens swim? From that day on, Jessica and her rescuer were inseparable friends. Wherever Jessica went, the chicken went too. They traveled all over the island. They went to Jessica's secret thinking place. They're good friends. and to the Great Pebble Monument. Look how happy they are. One day, they went to a place where Jessica had never been before. A red and blue bird flew down from a tree. "Oh, there you are," it exclaimed when it saw the chicken. "Your mother has been looking all over for you. Come, I'll take you to her." They followed the bird for a very long time. They walked and they walked. They walked under the warm sun and the cool moon, and then they came upon the most extraordinary creature they had ever seen. Because remember, he's never seen his mom. It was asleep, but when it heard the little chicken shout, "Mother!" it slowly opened one eye, smiled an enormous smile, and in a voice as gentle as a whispering grass, said, "Come here, my sweet little alligator." And the little chicken climbed happily onto her mother's nose. "Now it's time for me to go," said Jessica. "I'll miss you very much, little chicken. Come visit us soon, and bring your mother too." Jessica couldn't wait to tell Marilyn and August what had happened. As she neared the inlet, she shouted, "Guess what I found?" And she told them all about it. "And do you know what that mother chicken said to her baby?" Jessica asked. "She called her, 'My sweet little alligator.'" "Alligator?" said Marilyn. "What a silly, silly thing to say." And the three frogs couldn't stop laughing. So they didn't know that their friend, little chicken, was actually a baby alligator. So I'm going to send you some links tomorrow about alligators. And you already saw some films about frogs and what their eggs look like. Remember, they come in clusters. Remember, the toads were in long strings and the frogs were in clusters and bunches. So now I'm curious, because I don't know, about alligator eggs and how they hatch. So that'll be really interesting for all of us to learn about together. And I will think of a project for you to do with your alligator or with your egg. Maybe it could be an egg project. Lots of love, sweet dreams, everybody. And if you're seeing this in the morning, good morning, my friend. Toodaloo. Bye.